Hey guys, Chuck with ChuckGuy.com. A lot of people are turning to the internet right now to build their network marketing business, but they're failing because they can't get leads. They can't get people coming to their website or to their offer. So the question is, what do you need to do to get that traffic coming to you so that you start getting those sales and signups? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to cover in this training video. Now, if you haven't done this yet, in the bottom right corner, you'll see a little subscribe button. Click on that, and also the little bell that'll give you an alert each time I post a new video. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, well, one of the first things you need to know is what is it that your prospect is looking for? If you're in the health industry, then you'd be looking obviously for people who are having health issues and maybe specific to the type of product that you're marketing. So you need to know who your product is for, who is the ideal avatar, what are the problems that they're facing. The next step is to give them exactly what it is that they're looking for. So they are looking for how-to solutions. How can I solve this problem? And they will be going on to the internet probably, and a lot of will go to YouTube, for example, and type in how do I get rid of psoriasis, or how do I get rid of cancer, or how do I get rid of whatever. And I'm not saying that you have a solution for cancer, but you get the idea. Is there are people that are struggling with specific things, and so you want to be then providing content on that solution, that problem that they're trying to solve. Okay, so now this is where it starts to get interesting, because you start turning from a hunter into a fisherman. Okay, so a hunter, he's got a bow, or he's got a gun, and he's going to fire a bullet at one animal, or he's going to try and snag one fish. But we're not doing that. What we're looking to do is set a much broader net. So in order to be successful in your approach in providing a solution, is you need to provide content, and people are looking for people that they know, like, and trust. So if you hide behind a PowerPoint, they're never going to get to know you. They need to see your smiling face and go, hey, you know what, this guy seems like somebody that I could trust. They're looking at your eyes. Are you kind of shifty, kind of, what do you look like? When I was doing I'd call leads, I was buying thousands of dollars worth of leads every month, and I would call leads, and it's interesting. Even just the tone of your voice can make a huge difference. I'd be doing calls, and I'd have several hundred people listening into a call, and I get off the call and I get a person to sign up on the call, and people will go, "Wow, I don't know how you do that. It's you make it look so easy. You make it sound so easy." And because they would get the same kind of leads that I was buying, and these, by the way, these leads were very expensive. They were like $10 a piece. So if you messed up, it could you start to hurt after you've done that 10 times. So, but even with that, they go, I'm buying the same leads as you are, but they seem to like you better. And the difference is because you need to be personable. So your presentation, the way you present yourself, your voice, obviously, as I said, and using your voice is better than getting somebody else's voice. Again, they want to recognize you, but also having your face in front of them is even more powerful. So you could have, like I said, you could have a PowerPoint presentation, and that doesn't mean to say that there's not times where you wouldn't, but you need to make sure that you're getting in front of the camera. And if that's uncomfortable for you, oh well, you got to get over it. You're in business, and you've got to go out and meet the public, and the public need to get to know who you are. Now, having said that, I said you're not spearing you're not going and shooting you're not spearing a fish or shooting one animal. And I'm not a hunter, so I'm sorry for the analogy, but what you want to do is you want to create content. This is kind of like the ABC. Always be creating, maybe ABCC. Always be creating content. And so how do you go about doing that? Okay, so creating content is extremely easy, or it can be extremely hard depending on how you do it. Now, I'm going to suggest that you do it the easy way. I was in school. I was always accused of always looking for the easy way, and I've never changed over the years. So but I got to tell you something. I did try doing it the hard way. When I first started blogging, I would go and I would sit down and I would think about the topic that I want to write about, and then I would spend the next 2 or 3 hours writing up content, basically out of my head. And having had a lot of experience in network marketing, it wasn't that difficult to do, but still, collecting your thoughts, organizing them, and getting them on paper, and then of course spell checking and making sure you got commas where they need to be. The whole thing could take a long time. I think probably the worst part, though, was creating content, coming up with the idea, because, okay, so I've wrote on that topic 3 or 4 times. It's getting a bit old now. I need to come up with something different. And so, how do you get ideas? How do you get ideas for your content? Well, it's so simple. If you take a phrase, so if you want to, how many people are using social media, just as an example? How many people are using social media? Go to Google and type in how many people are using social media. My guess is, unless you have already looked this up, you don't know. And so how can you give this kind of information to somebody when you don't know it yourself? So go to Google and type in a question, and then Google will provide you with what it believes to be the 10 best answers. But beyond that, I mean, there's pages and pages after the first page, millions of pages, and depending on the topic. So there you go. You can start looking at other people's content, what they wrote, what did they say about that particular thing. If you want to go, another source would be to go to YouTube, for example, and type in the same kind of question. So what about social media? How many people use social media? Or how many people use social media? Or why you use social media? And you're going to get video after video after video, different people sharing what they believe is, what's so great about social media. And so then what you do is you take their content and put it in your words. And you may think, well, who's going to want my content? Or who's going to want my content when I'm not the expert? I mean, I was listening to an expert, but I'm not an expert. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be. You went to university, or you went to college, or you went to high school. The people who were teaching you history or science, they didn't invent, for example, science. They didn't invent, all the chemicals and stuff like that. They were just like you. They went and learned about them, and now they're sharing it with you. And that's the same thing you're going to do with your audience. And I said, always be creating content in a wide net. So creating content, so you wrote an article, or rather you create a video on a particular topic, and now you go, well, I'm done. Now I'm going to start sitting back and waiting for the business to happen. It doesn't work that way. You got to create content over and over and over again. And so you might say, well, okay, well, I'll work at this for the next few months and see how it goes. No, that's wrong. You need to become an authority, and the only way you're going to become an authority is by being one. And the only way you're going to be one is by creating tons and tons of content. So I would suggest to you that if you really are serious about generating business using the internet, and you want to use content marketing, that you be prepared to lock in for the next 12 to 24 months. And I would encourage, even 24 months would be better than saying 12 months. You want to really commit yourself to this. Imagine if you were to commit yourself to generating content for the next 24 months, and you were able to generate a full-time income as a result of having done that. Would it be worth it? Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to do that. Disclaimer, but my suggestion, my belief is that if you commit to the next 2 years, you're going to start seeing the results that you were looking for. But it's going to take some time, so you have to commit. So again, we've come up with the content to a problem that people have, and now we're starting to create tons and tons of content. So are there some ways that we can syndicate that? In other words, getting it out to different venues, different groups of people. Okay, so obviously the first thing that we talked about was creating video. So it's video marketing. And so you're creating a channel with videos that people could go to and watch them. Now, you create a video, and just like I suggested to you in the beginning, to click on that red button down there, the subscribe button, and then the little bell for the alert. That's what you're going to do. You're going to get people to subscribe to your channel. So you might create one topic on lead generation with email. You may create another topic about contacting people by using the phone, whatever it is. Or maybe if it's in the health arena, maybe you're talking about antioxidants, maybe it's talking about lowering blood pressure, but you're creating different groupings of content that people can click into and start watching. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. Blogging with video. So you have a blog and you're going to be posting your content every day to your blog. So, you might have a vlog, which is basically the same thing as a blog, except it's done with video primarily. But people would go to your blog and watch your content. And again, you would have your sales presentation would be somewhere within that video, or at least a link or something towards it. Okay, so then the next one would be email marketing. So you're creating an email list. So you're going to be starting to encourage people to opt in to an email list. Now, you could just leave it with, just doing a sale and, hey, go to this website and get this product if you're interested in it. But the problem with that is that's a one-time sale. And what happens if they're not interested in that particular thing? They're interested in what you're talking about, but just they already have that solution that you just talked about. Okay, so then if you don't have an email list, you can't reach out to them again. And you could say, well, they might come back to my website and they'll, because they're subscribed. They are, but what happens if you lose your social media account? Maybe YouTube decides they don't like your channel for whatever reason, and now you've lost that contact. So again, being able to contact people yourself means you're in control of your own lead generation. Okay, so you have your leads, and now you can reach out to them again with your particular new offer that you have for that time. Okay, another one you can do, of course, is social media marketing, and there's things like Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Instagram. These are really popular right now, and you can take your video content and post it on those websites. So you're going to get your content in front of a whole bunch of eyes. So I would encourage syndication is a really powerful thing. Don't wait for them to come to you. You go to your public. You could also go onto Google and type in forums. So if you're into weight loss, type in weight loss forums and see what Google gives you. And then go to those websites, into those forums, and start giving people valuable content. And so that they start to get to know who you are. Now, don't make it a pitch session. You could end up getting knocked out of the forum, but you could get, you start creating content and say, hey, I just wrote this post on my website that talks about that very same thing. If you're interested, go check it out. Or you could start messaging people directly. In any case, that's syndication. You want to get your message in front of as many eyes as you can. Well, I hope you found this training was helpful. I'm going to leave a link down below, chuckguy.com/lead generation. If you'd like to learn more about lead generation, different strategies that you can use to start filling up that email tray of yours with leads every day, then just click on that and it'll give you some free training. So you take care. I wish you all the best with your marketing efforts. Oh, and if you haven't done this yet, click on that little red button in the bottom right corner and then also that little bell, and it'll give you an alert the next time I post a new video. So you take care. I wish you all the best with your marketing. Have a great day.